the Seahawks are keeping them off balance, and that's pushed them in front. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Offense out now following the interception. The long ball will find its mark here, and 37 yards later, he'll go in for the score. We're tied back up at 7. Now early in the second, Moore's got the sack here. This will go for a loss of 8. Continuing on the drive, the catch will be made deep down the field, and this play will go for 6. They're now on top by 4. Now to late in the first half, Wilson would find his mark in coverage, and this will go all the way for a touchdown. Seahawks push their lead to 11. So that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back now to Glendale for the start of the second half.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They come out here in the eye. Now Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And he is picking up right where he left off a week ago. I wrote down, so funny here on my notes, what he said last week. And after we talked to him about the good game, he said, I will do it again. And I wrote those words down, and he's done it again.
And it's not bragging if you're doing it, right? Because that's exactly what he's told you, and he is getting it done. Smooth in the secondary, making catches, making plays. That's the guy that we know.
And on 2nd and 10 now.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you've got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
Deep drop. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Earl Mitchell in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes. It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And the Cardinals, they trot out their dime package for 3rd down. Wilson. Going right side here, and that's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
And Graham's got it over the middle. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. It's complete to Lockett. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. The Cardinal defense, they head out to get set here. And a pretty nice job last time. Gave up quite a bit of yardage, but only gave up the field goal.
Almost feel like we should give him a little bit of a round of applause for being able to dig in at the end of a long drive. Usually when those types of drives happen, they result in touchdowns because you've broken the defense, but they found some resolve in there and held them to a field goal.
Yeah, they found the resolve. Now they'll be looking to give up 0 points this time. See if they stay on the ground for second down. On second down, here's Wilson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
His throw caught at about the 5. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. So another catch, more yards, and now enough yards to break the single game record.
It seemed inevitable the way this game went that the yards record would fall, and we got to see it. We got to witness it, and the crowd is so excited to watch another NFL record fall.
That's caught at the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The line of scrimmage is the 3 as they look to cash in on 3rd and goal. scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a So they got their touchdown, now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've got the lead by 3, late stages of the game. What's the message here? Just hang on to the football? Is it that simple?
That's exactly right, because ball security is paramount. And you got a small cushion. A field goal can tie you, but you don't even think that way. Just take care of the ball, close out the game.
Will they close it out? We're about to find out. Oh, Wilson going to throw. His throw incomplete.
A nice pass breakup there by Patrick Peterson, who has the cornerback position figured out. And you can see it in his play. Obviously, 5 Pro Bowls tells us that he's a pretty darn good player, but even more so, the footwork, the physicality out on the corner, the ability to read patterns, and he makes plays on the football. And you know, if he gets his hands on it, he tends to take it the other way and maybe turn it into 6 points.
On second down, Rawls. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Now Wilson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tyvon Branch. And a big turnover there as his guy... A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Seahawks, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.